Welcome back to another episode of Put It on the List. We have a super stacked show today. Lots of nerd news, some dope trailers. I hope the other guy watched them. New things for the list, and we finish out our show with our double feature. Let's start the show. I'm Francisco, and joining me today, not flying dragons, but flying the 5th generation fighter, whatever the fuck that is, his call sign, VIP. Very important person or pendejo, whatever you prefer. Andres. What's up, buddy?
Hey. That's good.
You finally watched the fucking Top Gun Maverick,
crazy,
huh?
right? Well, we're going to do a full spoiler review on that when we get to that portion of the fucking episode. Man, it took me like 2 seconds before I dropped the F word. Good job.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
Starting off, we got a lot of nerd news, right? We got some cool stuff, man. I think the biggest surprise of the week, the headliner, is that little video Mr. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman dropped about the Deadpool 3 coming out and Wolverine being a featured actor.
Yeah, that was cool. I'm surprised they didn't do it at D3 do 23 like 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks later.
Like, I don't know why they waited. Like, how cool that would have been if they came on stage together. But I guess it's no surprise because Sean Levy's directing Deadpool 3. This is to be the third film he worked with Ryan Reynolds on. And second film that he worked with Hugh Jackman, I guess. But Hugh Jackman was actually in Free Guy, but only for his voice. So there's some crossover. There. They're all buddies. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
I was happy. I'm happy we're getting more nerd stuff, and I'm happy we're getting a mutant. You know, and we're getting Wolverine. I gotta say that I was ready to move on from Hugh Jackman because I wasn't like super big fan of his interpretation. Like I don't think he was the right guy for it, like as far as body or whatever. But I mean, he did a good job. Yeah, you know, for what he has. So I think him and Ryan Reynolds together are funny. So I think that's what's going to be the headline. I don't know how excited about him being Wolverine again, but I kind of wanted a new Wolverine.
Me too. I definitely wanted a new Wolverine. I was excited to see who are they going to get. Like a Tom Hardy who they can't because he's in Venom, but that would have been pretty dope. I think I'm almost kind of curious if they're going to do some kind of crazy Deadpool multiverse thing where Wolverine's there and they're going to kill him or do something and introduce the new Wolverine, the new actor in this show. Because, dude, all roles are off with Deadpool and they said it's going to be a R-rated film. So I'm like, cool. Yeah. This is going to be the first, I think, more Fox property.
MCU.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right. So they're going to start introducing, like you said, mutants, the M word. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the whole Secret Invasion thing, because that's around the time that's going to start. Yeah. And so you had the Krolls and all that. Yeah. So I don't know, man.
I'm curious. I'm sure it's going to be good. Sean Levy's been on a huge upswing, especially with his Stranger Things episodes. I'm like, damn, those are good. So I'm like,
I would. Yeah. Sorry. What I was going to say is I would like to see Josh Brolin back too. Imagine the three of them together. Oh man, Cable, Wolverine, and Deadpool.
All right.
Now I would have been like, woo! That would have been like a super nerd. Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. That would be fucking pretty cool. All right, what's next? Yeah, I'm excited.
Just like I'm just in my head, just thinking of all the fucking dry humor from Cable and then Wolverine and then Deadpool just being a jerk between them. It'd be fucking hilarious. Yeah,
I'd be curious.
Well, excited. We got a couple years before it's here, so
there's
all
time.
Good.
All right, I'm sure we'll find out a lot more as we keep going forward.
Okay, moving on to AKA the technical awards.
James Earl Jones.
Yeah, James Earl Jones.
You got this.
I was, yeah. Oh, 3 names all at once. James Earl Jones is set to retire his voice
Star
from
Wars.
um Star Wars,
Yeah.
yeah. And I'm assuming all digital work,
Yeah.
all voiceover
Yeah.
work. And then side piece to that, Bruce Willis is selling his rights to his digital twin.
Yeah.
So people can use his
Likeness.
body
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever likeness in whatever
Yeah.
generation and stuff. So this is interesting,
Yeah.
right? Because you were moving ahead and we're like, do we need physical bodies or what's going on? And I think with James Earl Jones, they used some technology to voice Darth Vader in
The
the
last. Yeah.
Obi-Wan
Yeah.
Kenobi. So it's like he kind of already was
Yeah.
retired, but now he's making it official, I
But I
guess.
think he's like selling over all the rights to the future, so he no longer has to be involved like at all. Like I think he had to be involved in the last one now. So there's a
Yeah.
company, I think they said it's out of Ukraine, that develops some voice technology where they just sample your voice and then they can just remake you do your speech again.
That's scary.
Yeah, only a little.
They can do anybody.
Yeah, and then the Bruce Willis thing is I think they've already done tests where they just can get like they're gonna get another actor and they're just gonna map his face on it and he'll just perform in the background or do whatever. I don't even know. We'll find out if it's a video game or a TV show. Who knows? Maybe he'll be on The Price is Right. I have no idea what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's been coming for a while, and the de-aging stuff that they've been doing on actors for a while, and adding deceased actors. Like what's his name in Fast and the Furious? They added Paul Walker back in
Paul
for a
Walker.
bunch of stuff, and they filmed it using his brothers, and they just put his performance back on top. So who knows?
Princess Leia.
Yeah.
They did Princess Leia.
That's
too.
right. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's creepy, but hopefully they just use it like in small touches, so it's not like too ridiculous. And the technology is not perfect, so if you use it like in little bites, it'll be okay. If you put it in your face, it's probably gonna fall apart. So we'll see how it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting times.
I'm curious about how they're gonna do the Mufasa movie because there's only one voice for Mufasa, right? And like there's supposed to be a Lion King Mufasa movie.
I didn't know about that.
So
maybe it's gonna be a prequel.
Oh no. Yeah, it's gonna be a prequel. It's gonna be how he, I don't know, became
how
king.
Mufasa killed his uncle to become king or something.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. No idea.
You didn't see the trailer for that? It was like a teaser.
No. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. We got kind of bummer news, because we're looking forward to it. They were getting ready to start shooting Blade with Mahershala Ali, and looks like they just lost their director,
which is not an unusual thing for a Marvel project because they're so aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, number one, they don't pay. I think they get a lot of upcoming directors because they don't have to pay them.
Yeah.
And they put a ton of demands on them, and making a movie with Marvel is making it by committee. So there's usually like 4 different film versions of it, and you're probably as a director not going to have one of them. But homie quit, and they're going to start shooting really soon because this thing comes out, I think, October of next year. So that's a short deadline. So I'm curious. I have an idea who I think they could replace him with because he already has some experience. But how about, do you have any ideas?
Mm-hmm.
I have two.
Go for it.
Number one, the big obvious choice, who I'd love to see come back, is Guillermo del Toro. Like, he directed. I love Blade 2. And I think it'd be so cool to have him come in. He would never do it because he needs time to like design, and he's an auteur. He makes it on his own. I don't think he'll ever work for Marvel.
Yeah.
And the other guy is the dude who just came in, who off the bench because the Doctor Strange 2 director quit. And then he took over for him, and I think he did a great job. So
Sam Raimi.
So I would say Sam Raimi would be a really cool choice. And he already knows all the people, so he can probably do a decent job. And horror, like him in a Blade universe, that's cool.
Yeah. I think because Blade fights a lot, you know what I'm saying? So I think I'm leaning towards the John Wick Nobody universe, somebody in that family tree.
Oh,
I don't know, the guy that directed Nobody.
Yeah.
The guy that directed Nobody. That movie was pretty fucking cool, and it was kind of like and it was out of nowhere and stuff. And so I think, hand-to-hand combat is kind of a skill that Blade needs. So it'd be kind of cool to see somebody like that direct it. with some
Yeah,
action
that
experience.
nobody director did a lot with a little. Like it was like that
Yeah,
one scene on the bus. You're like, dude, this is fucking crazy.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. It kept going too. You're like, holy shit.
yeah. I like that pick. That's a good pick. But yeah, it's got to be scary and trippy. So we'll see how this is going
Yeah,
because Marvel's trying to do like the whole horror kind of area. So we'll
yeah,
see supernatural. Like they're trying to be very supernatural.
yeah,
So final
yeah.
fingers.
That's where the money's at, bro. Everybody's in the spooky
Is that what it
business.
is?
Yeah, except you.
Except me. So yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
That comes out, I think, in a year, which I wouldn't be surprised if they delayed it.
yeah. And I feel bad for
Yeah,
Mahershala
Mashallah.
Ali. Mahershala. I don't know, bro. We're probably both wrong. But I feel bad for him, man. He's coming off like some outstanding performances,
He's always good.
and yeah, man, and I just wish because he's super famous, but if he's in a Marvel movie, that's like a different stratosphere. You know what I'm saying?
Get paid.
Yep. All right, moving on to a few things that we watched. All right. I don't know if you watched it, but I watched the movie Lou with
Allison Janney. Yeah.
And I want to say Jennifer Janney for something.
Yeah.
Allison Janney.
Good job.
Allison Janney. Man, that's a good movie. It was a solid kind of like put it on, eat popcorn, don't think about it too much, just enjoy it with shit's on TV. There's a cool little twist I didn't see coming. It was all right. I liked it.
We too watched Lou. I didn't even tell you.
Oh, cool.
And
what did you think?
We both liked it a lot. I was surprised.
Cool.
Like I thought the trailer looked cool.
Yeah.
There was nitpicky time. There was some dialogue. I'm like, nobody talks like that. There's some weird dialogue here and there. like it's like exposition. Like that's so and so. He's an expert at such and such. I'm like, nobody talks like that to another person. Like no humans don't interact. Anyways, but overall, it was pretty damn cool. Like it was a little different than I was expecting. But and then like I remember like halfway through or less than that, I was like, this is cool, but I wish they would give this other character a little bit more depth. I'm like, this is very kind of flat. And then all of a sudden, like you said, the twist comes and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then
that's a different layer.
And then at that point we were in, but then we were like super in at that point. We're like, this is dope. This is cool. Yeah, it's really well shot.
It's really cool, man.
The action's good. It's really, really well shot for the most part. The actors are all solid. I mean, everyone. Like it's a fun film. Like don't overthink it too much, but it's popcorn fun movie. Lou on Netflix. I would definitely add to the list. I think Christina, and I'm talking too much. I want to hear more about you, what your feelings were. But Christina thought it was awesome because it was two leading women in the film. So she was like, "This is you don't get to see that often," and so I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
and directed by a woman. So I'm like, oh shit! I had no idea until the credits rolled. I'm like, shit, this is dope.
Yeah,
should have her direct Blade.
Yeah, that'd be cool too. Yeah, I really like the performances all around from everybody, all the way down to that dumb sheriff that loses the. I know. Oh, shout out to riding three wheelers, man. When we were kids, we had three wheelers.
Yeah,
and that was kind of a retro thing right there. Yeah, I like the movie. I'm a fan of. I think you say her name, Journey Smollett. Smollett. She was in Lovecraft Country, and I really liked that show. Bummed out that it didn't get renewed, and it was on play on that horror, sci-fi, action adventure
with Jonathan Majors
thing.
too.
And Jonathan Majors, and so she did a great job. And Allison Janney, man, she's rock solid all the time.
Always.
She's a pro. She's a pro's pro.
Dude, she took some dialogue that wasn't that good and made it much better.
Yeah. I don't know about the all gray wig. I don't know about the wig, but it was great. I liked it. I liked it. The action sequences were cool and readable. You know what I'm saying? Nothing was like, where did that come from?
Didn't hide things in the shadows and.
Yeah, so it was cool. I liked it. Enjoyed it. It was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, it was cool. I think it's got some rewatchability too. So I'm happy about that one.
Yeah. All right. Next, moving on. One of the favorites, the Great British Baking Show. We watched that. We're a couple episodes up now.
3 episodes in.
Yeah. And I think we're starting to get our favorites, like who we're picking to do it.
I want to say,
what would you like to start with?
I don't want to say, like, we're going to probably get into some spoilers here, obviously, because we kind of can't talk about it, but without getting spoilery. So if you're super into it and like you're on the fucking edge of your seat, listen after episodes 2 and 3 we're about to talk about. So fucking don't skip ahead to the next thing. So here we go. Here we get some spoilers. All right, man. Fire away. Episode 2.
Episode 2, Homegrown needed to go.
Yeah.
She was the weakest link. It was the right choice. Yeah. She could have gone the first week for me, honestly. So I think it was the right choice.
I think there was like 2 or 3 that could have gone episode 2. I was like, nothing would have surprised me.
Yeah. What's the last segment called? The Showstopper? Yeah. Is that what that's called? The Showstopper? Yeah. Like, I think so far this season, the Showstoppers have been a little underwhelming. Especially episode 3.
Really?
Oh my God, bro.
I thought,
yeah, man, I don't know.
That was trippy to me.
It just sounds gross.
I thought it sounded, I liked that it was different. Like, it was way different. But
even Rue was like, I got to say that this sounds gross. And then she changed her mind when she tasted it, but we can't taste it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I mean, I'm glad you said spoilers, but there's a bunch of fish and cake and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
and like,
it was a savory cake.
I don't want to eat that shit. With fish.
Dude, don't go to...
They all had fish. Oh, no. 2 people had like, one had lamb, right? And the other one had like, what's the guy's name that had like 3 different kinds of meats and he put a bunch of barbecue sauce in there? Yeah, Sando, yeah. So like, but for bread week, usually there's like this grand thing of like, they all bake all these fucking loaves of bread and they, then they stack them and they sculpt and whatever, and so I felt like it was a little underwhelming to me. And I didn't like the palette, the flavor profile.
I think I'm like, bread week is always fun, especially the first challenge was pizza, and like we're big pizzas here. Like I told you, I've done pizza dough my own, and it would be like a 4-day cold fermentation because it tastes amazing. These dudes had like 2 hours, and they were doing their pizzas the whole time. I'm like, nope, yes, nope.
Pizza was good,
and then that blind one was perfectly simple, but deceptively simple. I'm like, perfect. And then they got to the savory cake, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like the bread, I don't like it when like the bread is not the featured item of the of the challenge. I'm like, it should be like a featured thing. Like this is just kind of like if you make a loaf of bread and throw a bunch of barbecue sauce on it, like what?
Yeah.
I don't know about that shit.
And was that one guy thing that threw it? He looked like, bro, it shit looked horrible. Like we threw the asparagus and like he looked like a fucking somebody's produce compost just landed on top of his fucking bread cake or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, that looks not appetizing.
That dude was going to go home, but because they had the weirdest thing I've never seen before, 2 bakers out sick, which has never happened. No one went home. So it's like, all right.
Yeah.
But man, like that dude was just in the bottom the whole time and still on the bottom. Like, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
Anyways, but it's always fun to get to see like their thought process of like, is less more or is more? And some of those folks, I'm like, dude, you put way too much shit in your shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm happy that the lady with the purple crazy hair, she kind of redeemed herself. You know what I'm saying?
I think she's still gonna leave early in the next couple episodes.
And
it's funny.
You got her bottom half instead of top half.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. And then I'm still I learned one name this week. It's usually I don't learn names until like week 4 or 5. But Maxie, she's the one who won last week and did pretty well this week.
Yeah. That's the only name I know. Maxie.
Yeah.
And then the Dervish, is that the guy that won? Dur or something? It's a D. And then Sando, you just
I know, Sando and Maxie.
And then there's that one guy, I don't know if he's Scottish. I think he's Scottish with the glasses. That's the fucking subtitle guy right there.
Dude,
that guy, I can't understand anything.
No, we're still subtitling it away because I'm like, I should never have time to keg. And they're just like, okay, sounds good.
For sure.
Yeah, some chocolate.
Yeah, but I love the show, man. It's awesome.
Yeah. I think they should have had some kind of a chocolate something in the bread. Like they kind of, whatever. It's done. Yeah. It's done. Still a great show.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Big, big segment. Top Gun
Oh
Maverick.
yeah,
Hondo. We
Hondo.
watched it,
We
man.
did.
Yeah.
So yeah,
All
clearly
right.
we're getting into spoiler territory because you've already talked about it, but I haven't gotten to see it yet. So finally
Mm-hmm.
rented it on Amazon last week. And so yeah, we'll get full spoilery in about 3, 2, 1. Spoiler. Fucking don't listen if you haven't seen Top Gun Maverick. Like me, you might be one of like the 4 people in America that hasn't. So here we go. Spoilers. Go. Fire away.
Me, you just watched it. Go
You
for
want me
it.
to fucking go?
You got, yeah,
All
go
right.
for it.
Holy shit, it was awesome. Like the photography was like, holy shit. I'll say this, man. We rented it on Amazon. I don't think I told you this. I think I might have. We got to when you rent on Amazon, you got a 48-hour window to watch it. So we watched it the
Mm-hmm.
first day, and then immediately the next day or something like that, we're watching it again. So we seriously watched it 2 days in a row. And I think the second time we watched it, that we skipped like the sappy middle parts where like the romantic story kind of comes in. You're like, that's fine. It's just there. It's not like it's adding a huge amount. I'm just here for the jets and like the cool factor and the fun factor and like oh man, the movie's gorgeous. It's so well shot. Like there's so many gorgeous shots. This has to be nominated for Academy Award for cinematography. Like it might even win. This shit was awesome. This movie was
Yeah.
like this movie was like 10 times better than it had any business being. Like it was like, what? And apparently, so I like you told me now that I watched it to listen to the Rewatchables podcast when they cover this film. And they talk about it a lot. Like it's been in production for like 10 years. They were trying to make it. And they shot the damn film in like 2018. So the fact that it's like 4 years after they filmed it, it actually made it to the screen is bananas. And the fact that I looked it up, it made 1.7 billion at the box office. Holy shit. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Super impressive. And like the sound design, so much, like so many cool things to say.
Yeah.
Let's start with Hondo.
Yeah. They're like silent MVP, man. This guy from a little show on HBO Max and Comedy Central, Southside. Sergeant.
He's a co-creator.
Sergeant Booknight.
Yeah.
And he's amazing, man. He kind of like a little scene stealer. He's a heat check guy. Man, every time he's on the screen, you're like, damn, that's fucking cool.
His name is Bashir.
He did great.
Bashir something. I always get his last name wrong. But man, he's always solid. He was in Glow. He was one of the he played a husband in the show Glow on Netflix. He was great in that. He's just fucking good. Okay, here's my question to you for Hondo. What was his official title? Because this fucking dude, sometimes he's in the control room on the computer hitting some buttons, click, 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 monitoring satellites and shit. Sometimes he's the dude who's like walks up the ladder after Maverick gets into his plane and like buckles a seatbelt for Maverick and gives Maverick like a juice box. He's like, here you go, Mav. I'm like, and then sometimes he's just kind of hanging out like in the background during Top Gun flight school, just hanging out with like a binder. I'm like, what is this guy's official title? He's everywhere.
He must be Maverick's little sidekick. He can't go nowhere without him. I don't know, man. I don't know why Captain needs an assistant, but that's the closest thing that I can think of that is his assistant.
Like he does everything.
Yeah, he does a lot of heavy lifting. Like even in the beginning where they do the
test,
the testing, the test and stuff, and when they get to the 9Gs and then don't do it. He's whispering like, "Don't do it."
And he's like,
and then Maverick, of course, pushes it, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Like he knows he's gonna do it. And then that was a cool little cameo by Ed Harris.
Yeah. That shot apparently
bringing in the heat.
Apparently, that shot where he does the flyover was real.
I
was like, damn. What?
He took that shit to the face,
dude.
Damn,
that was like
crazy.
how they start off the show, and we're just like, holy shit! Like, and like the use of like so many cool things to say. Like, I try to look up like a whole bunch of like behind the scenes footage, like how they were getting half these shots. I'm like, god damn.
I listened to an interview with Kaczynski, and they were talking about how they mounted a lot of these cameras in the cockpit.
Yeah, I saw that.
Right, and basically he didn't know what they had till they reviewed the film. So like he couldn't actually direct.
No.
I mean, he told them what to do before they took off, and then they just record everything, right? And then they had to come back and review all the
Yeah.
film. But so he wasn't really directing. He was more like, all right, I hope they get these shots because we only got these jets. And like I think one of the, and it's not understated, but one of the reasons that the film looks so good is that a lot of it was
Yeah.
real. You know,
Yeah.
like they used, it wasn't a bunch of CG stuff. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like they used TIE fighters and they
Yeah.
they made them up. No, these were real jets, and they had real pilots shooting them, and they really were up there like shaking and doing that kind of stuff. And so a lot of that just added, power and authenticity to
Yeah, if
everything.
you film this shit in a green screen studio, it's not gonna look like you're not gonna feel. It's
Yeah,
not gonna look.
it's gonna it's gonna be Thor: Love and Thunder. That's what it's gonna be.
Ooh.
Yeah, the green screen machine.
Oh man. But
But
I heard on the rewatchables. Apparently, I think it was around $11,000 an hour to shoot the jets is what they were paying. But the thing is, like when it comes down to it, though, dude, that's a bargain compared to what it would cost to do it all like green screen and then have to like pay an army of CG people to do it all again for you and do it again and again.
yeah,
The fact that they did that,
yeah,
like, dude, that's a bargain when it comes down to it. So I'm
yeah,
like, dude, you're using this $30 million aircraft for like $11,000 an hour. That's a good deal. That's a
yeah,
good deal.
yeah, yeah. And shout out to the actual pilots
Oh my god.
that perform all these stunts. You're like, they're cruising, like even in the training sequences when like he's basically trying to put all the young bucks in their place, and Maverick just like owns them, like doing all these tactical moves or whatever. Man, those like, dude, where's Maverick? And he's upside down over them, or he cuts right between them, or something crazy like that. Man, it was an amazing feat, and they did a great job.
I think a lot of
And
that was
shout out to
CG
all the
though.
pilots.
All the really dangerous stuff they couldn't do. So like a lot of it was CG. I heard there was like something
Oh,
kind
you
of
think so?
yeah, they said like there's no shots that have more than one actual jet for real. Like they'll
Oh,
have one
oh,
jet
okay.
and they'll just add the other ones later. But they have the reference of like the one jet looks like. So when they had other ones, it
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
correct, which is the way to
It
do
was
it.
like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
cut and paste kind of thing.
Yeah. So, but I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
but it looked fantastic. The choices they
Yeah, yeah,
made, and they had to be safe because the shit they were doing was like insanity.
yeah,
But
yeah. It was awesome.
there's so many thrilling things. Like I can't even recommend this movie enough. Like turn off the lights, turn up the
Yeah,
subwoofer, and just sit there and be like, whoa. And you can fast forward
yeah.
through some of the sappy stuff. There's some sappy stuff here and there, but I want to actually, I'm going to get to
But I
one.
think that adds to it.
But there was one.
Like, don't fast forward through anything. Don't listen to this jerk
No,
off
no, no.
right
Sorry,
here.
sorry.
Watch the whole
Watch the whole
movie.
movie. And then if you want to watch it again for like the highlight reel, which is like literally like an hour and a half highlight reel, which is insanity. Um, watch that.
This guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Just watch the whole thing twice. There's nothing wrong with it. Wait, what are you, bro? You got machetes over there? Why are you always chopping shit up? Just watch it.
It depends on
It's good.
time management, man. Time management's tough, but
Time management. It's 2 hours.
it's more than
It's not that
I mean,
long.
more than that. Anyways, Val Kilmer. I want to talk about Val Kilmer for a second. The respect that they paid to like him as an actor and his character was like so like damn. I was not expecting
Yeah.
it to be that well done. Like that shit touched. I was
Yeah.
like damn. And then like the whole texting idea. I'm like okay. And then when he shows up later, I'm
Mhm.
like damn. And
Yeah.
I don't know how were you on that?
No, that shit had some weight. I was like, Iceman. And then when he was typing and then when he started talking, you're like, damn, because it's been pretty public,
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
documentary
Yeah.
that about his situation. So all of that kind of just like added weight to it,
Dude,
yeah. And then
if you're not
it was
getting
kind of cool at the end when they hugged,
yeah,
when they hugged it out.
and then there's that one line at the very end, like where he says, like, "Who's the better?" And he said, "Let's not ruin this moment." Like it was like a perfect, like
Yeah.
that was such a good scene, like an understated, great scene.
Yeah.
Like, man,
That was perfect.
and the one thing I'm like, did they? All right, more spoilers. Clearly, did he have to die? You know what I mean? Like, why not just say he's still around? Like, I understand for the story, he had to like pass away because John Hamm's shitty character had to come in and be like, "We're changing everything." Like, why not just retire him and just say he's Iceman has just officially been retired? Something like that. I don't know. Like, it was kind of weird that they kind of
Because he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. And he wouldn't leave Iceman to be by himself. He's the one that's been looking out for him the whole
The
time.
whole time,
He's the reason he still has a. He's the reason he still has a job.
Yeah. So I totally
and John Hamm says that.
Yeah.
He's like, the only reason you're around is because Iceman, and now he's gone.
Yeah.
So guess what? Fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that was another cool thing where he does the test and he beats the time.
Yeah.
And he does it even faster.
That scene was awesome. Like, I'm your new partner. Like, what the hell? Who's that? What's going on? And then all of a sudden he's like out there doing the whole thing for like, oh, that scene was just, it had no reason to be that good. And then also I'm like, holy shit. And then the other thing that totally got me at the very end, man, I feel like it's like watching Bad Boys 2, where we get a whole second action scene. Like they accomplish your mission. You're like, all right, and they get shot down. You're like, oh shit, I guess they'll get rescued. No, they go and steal a fucking F-14. It's like, what the fuck? That was,
dude. And then like watching that shit in the theater, it was funny because like, what are you doing here? You're defeating the purpose. Blah blah blah. Why'd you do that? And like, you told me not to think, and everybody fucking lost it. Because the whole movie, he'd be like, he was telling Rooster, like, don't think, just do it. Don't think, just do it. And then the moment he's like, I wasn't thinking. It was hilarious. That shit landed perfectly.
Yeah. Those two together were great.
And it was, seeing them funny running through the snow and everything, it was hilarious.
Dude, when you were like, just walking all casual on the base, like, do, 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 then all of a sudden he's like, run. Yeah.
Start running.
And Tom Cruise got his running scene in the snow, like you said. He like, all right, here we go. Tom Cruise is running. It's over now.
Time to earn that check.
So yeah.
It was funny, dude. The whole thing. It doesn't stop.
They trimmed the fat almost on everything. I'm like, this movie is just, it's so rewatchable. Like, I could watch this movie like every couple months, no problem.
Yeah. And all the side role players, man, all the new pilots and even John Hamm is Cyclone, and what was the other guy's name that would tell like, it's a rhetorical question, Maverick. You know, like you don't have to say anything. What was that guy's name? He was pretty good too.
I think he was in the first film too.
Yeah, he was there too.
I forgot his name.
And then, I mean, there was a couple bullshit things you can call, but whatever. No. Like that football scene.
Yeah.
But the fuck is no rules football or whatever the fuck that was.
Yeah, I don't know. But they're having fun, so it's.
But it was funny to see John Hamm eat shit so many times. Like, you know, like that football scene building team character, or like when Tom Cruise beat the time for the training sequence, and you can see just John Hamm's face just like steaming. Man, it was pretty cool. And shout out to the number one lady of America now, because of this movie is Jennifer Connelly. Man, hey, she looked good, man. And she did a good job. Yeah. She did a good job. Yeah. She didn't need to ring the bell on my boy like that a couple of times, but you know, whatever.
She was being flirty.
Yeah. Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
She's been around a long time.
And she's still going strong.
Yeah. So kudos to her.
Yeah. Loved it. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. Looking forward to the third one.
All the music choices, everything, huh?
Dude,
it was perfect.
It was fantastic. I don't even know what else to say. One of the best films of the year by far.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I've watched it twice. I watched it in the theater, and then I watched it over at my sister's house.
I think we're gonna buy
amazing.
The Blu-ray comes out, I think, in a month or two. So I'm that's gonna be on the list. Picking it up.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, enough love for Maverick. Moving on.
All right, we got our favorite segment. Did he watch it? Trailers. All right, this trailer I know you watched because you told me about it. The Last of Us trailer, HBO series coming out with Pascal. What's his first
name?
Pedro Pascal, yeah. Look great. I'm excited. You know,
I've been excited for this since they first announced it, and they announced him. I love the video game. Have you played the video game?
No.
Dude, you should. I would recommend, if you can, try to get a hold of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you right now. I the first time I played it, the first there's two of them, Last of Us 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I played it, I was like alone sitting there, and that's this opening sequence, and like literally like 10 minutes later, my ass was like misty eyed. I was like, "Why you can't do that to me?" Just like oh my god, they just rip you apart emotionally, and then you get into the movie. Oh man, the game is amazing. I love zombie type games. This is like a zombie game with like emotions. But they're not zombies. They're just like these gnarly fucking creatures. And
Yeah.
it's like set in the future after like a dystopian event happens, and a dude's got to help someone else achieve a thing, and
Mm.
it's in an unhappy place. Like there's like governments that are fucking with each other, and there's like gangs of people that are fucking with each other, and oh man, it's a cool. The
Yeah.
game's awesome, and it's super moody.
Yeah.
But what do you think about
It
the
looks.
trailer?
It
You
looks.
know,
It looks. The trailer looks good, man. It looks dark. It looks, that kind of stuff. I love another world kind of things, and yeah, I'm excited to watch it.
and that's coming out HBO next year.
Yep. All right.
Oh, and it has
So that was.
the actress in it is Bella Ramsey, who played X-23, the daughter in Logan with Hugh Jackman,
Mhm.
as we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
She's great, so I'm really excited to see her and what she does in this film or this show.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, sorry, Bella
Uh.
Ramsey. She's from Game of Thrones. Never mind. She is the fucking 1,000-yard stare from Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Like, don't fuck with her.
Yeah. 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 The young one, right?
Yes, the young one. Like, oh man,
Mhm.
she's awesome. She only had like a handful of lines per season. It was like, do not fuck with her. So that's
Mm.
cool. All right, moving on to the next
Yeah.
trailer.
Moving on, the final trailer for Smile. Did you watch that?
I didn't. I didn't see this on the list actually. I watched the first trailer. It looked nice and not happy.
This one was even creepier, dude. I was like, oh, and my even like the skin on my arm kind of stood up. I was like, oh shit, that looks freaky. I mean, the only thing, it's a scary movie. It was originally gonna come out in I think Paramount Plus, but they're like it tested so well that they're gonna release it in theaters.
I think it's smart.
And it looks cool. I don't know. There's some disease or something that's happening that's infecting people and is giving them a creepy smile,
And they
and
get
it's
murdered.
contagious,
Yeah.
and they get murdery. They like to murder after that, with a smile. So that's all the story I got from the trailer.
And what's cool is they've been doing, because it's coming out, I think this week. There's like a viral ad
Mm-hmm.
where they're hiring actors in various cities to go to like sporting events and like stand behind like umpires during
Oh
games and
yeah.
just smile for like,
Oh
it's
shit.
creepy. Like if you go on social media, you can find like all the smilers that are just out and about in different areas, and you're like, oh shit, like that's
Yeah.
cheap and effective marketing right there. Pretty fun.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It looks cool.
Yeah,
I'm definitely gonna try to check it out at some point. All right. The next one. Did you watch the Barbarian Justin Long movie trailer?
I did.
What'd you think?
It looks really interesting. I don't know what the hell's happening. The tonal shift, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if they needed to like
Yeah.
do the like try to set up as like a comedy when it's not at all. And then
Mhm.
all of a sudden they're like, oh, by the way, this guy has to go to this house. Oh, by the way, in the basement there's like murders and murder tunnels. I'm like, okay, that's not a happy one.
Yeah.
Justin Long, I don't see him in that kind of a role, but now I'm kind of curious.
He's been in other scary movies. He was in Jeepers Creepers. He was in Tusk. He does scary good. I think he does that scared face. That like shock scare face. He does that pretty
Oh
good.
man,
It's interesting. The reason I put this on here is because the movie's been out, right? And
yeah,
the first week it was out, it was number one,
yeah, it
like
got
3 or
great and
4
it
weeks
got
ago.
really good reviews too.
Yeah, yeah. But like the first trailer, I watched the first trailer and I was like, damn, this is dark. I didn't even know that Justin Long was in it, like in the front of the first trailer. And then it did well, number one. And I think they wanted to get more people in there. So they cut another trailer with this.
I like
And
it.
now, because even for me, like the first trailer, I'm like, this is really dark. I don't know. I have to be in the mood. And now they added a little bit of humor to it and all that other stuff. So I think I'm in. And
Okay, it's
really well
impressive.
reviewed. So
It's impressive that
yeah.
you can turn an idea around in like days. We're like, this film's doing well. We think it could do better. Let's put some new trailers together and put them on like social media like tomorrow and see if we can get people in
Yeah.
theaters this weekend. I'm like, damn, that's welcome to the new
Yeah.
world.
Because even in the header of the video, the trailer on YouTube, it doesn't say Barbarian. It says
No,
Justin Long's new movie.
that's the reason I clicked on
That's
it.
wild, right?
Yeah, I was like, what is
Yeah.
this?
Me
So,
too. Me
yeah.
too.
Yeah. But hey, good
All
for
right.
them for just trying something new and it looked like it was going to work.
Hey, that's the marketing team doing a job.
Yeah, good job. All right, what's next?
All right, moving on. They clone Tyrone with
Jamie Foxx.
just like that. Jamie Foxx, yeah.
Yeah.
And John Boyega, I think is his name.
And there's like a couple other actors. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah. It looks cool.
I think it looks really cool.
I like the vibe.
The tone, the music.
I like the vibe.
It's creepy.
Yeah, it's really hip.
It's got tons of style. The movie's just dripping with style. And you put that together with Jamie Foxx, I'm like, dude, I'm in. It's gonna be like this weird sci-fi, slightly suspenseful. It's on Netflix, so it's coming out, I think, in a month. So that's like pretty cool.
I think this is the 1,000 movie that Jamie Foxx has done with Netflix. But he's getting up there.
He's getting up there.
Oh no, Bright is Will Smith.
Yeah.
But he did that Power movie, the one we just watched, the Day Shift.
Which I'm sure they're working on the sequel already.
And then this one, that's 3 at least that I can think of.
Yeah. I think
this one looks really cool.
I think it looks fun. It's got style. The opening scene in the film is really funny.
In the elevator? Yeah. That's a cool little. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they cloned Tyrone.
Yeah, they cloned Tyrone. So 3 out of 4, bro. You didn't do that bad.
Hey. I'll take it.
Yeah, give yourself a cookie.
I'll give myself a fucking savory cake later just for you.
With anchovy and fucking salmon paste.
Whatever that shit was.
Fucking gross. No, that's what it was.
All right. Moving on.
All right, moving on.
New to the list.
New to the list. All right. First up, HBO Max. They had a Super Pets. I heard it's a pretty cool movie.
Yeah. Kevin Hart and The Rock.
It's got some. Yeah, I was gonna say it's got some grade A voice talent. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited, HBO, and it's good family movie night time. So yeah, Super Pets.
I've heard good things. So I'll probably check it out at some point. It's probably not gonna be a Friday night event, but yeah, it's cool. That's there. We'll check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Family time. Super Pets. Next up, Blonde on Netflix.
Yeah.
NC-17.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Okay, silence right there.
I can tell you.
Is there a lot of?
I can tell you exactly what it means because we tried to watch it last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You just couldn't do it?
No.
Did you like it? No, why?
Dude, this movie is out there. Like, it is out there, and I couldn't understand like it's not a good movie. I'm just gonna start right there. Like, narratively, like they just do things that are completely unexplained, and you're just like, what the fuck is happening in this movie? And literally the first 30 minutes is like, let's just torture someone for 30 minutes and see what happens. Like, we're talking like attempted murders and rapes and crazy shit. And you're just like, what the fuck? And tons of like unnecessary nudity. And then there's like even more sex. And you're just like, and the context for all this stuff is like thrown out the window. It's just like, we didn't understand it. We were like, does this actually happen? So Christina actually looked it up and she said, oh, this movie is based on a fictional account. So someone just took the idea of Marilyn Monroe and totally made up a whole bunch of shit that never happened and just put it into like lunacy. And they made a 3-hour movie out of it. And in the first 30 minutes, we barely survived. And we're like, this has to go. Like, this is like the saddest, craziest, pointless thing we've seen in a long time. So this is not a review. This is only a review of the first 30 minutes. If that's your thing, fucking go for it. But holy shit, this movie was bad. Anyways, fire away.
I haven't seen it, and I've only watched the trailer.
Yeah.
And I don't know much about it. And Marilyn Monroe is not a huge point of interest for me. Yeah. So it's like I was already kind of like on the fence. Yeah. So who knows if I'm going to watch it. But you said 3 fucking hours?
3 hours. I had no idea. Dude.
Sounds like a
slog. If you can get through the first 30, 40 minutes, you can tell me how it ends because I'm good. Like, dude, Christina actually read further things that they do in the movie. And she's like, what the fuck? Like, there's some crazy stuff. They just like, dude, it's like, it's NC-17 for a reason, and it just seems so gratuitous. And I feel so bad for the actress because she's awesome. And oh man, how do I say this? There's some cool stuff that she has a chance to do for an actress, like cry for the first 30 minutes of a movie. But dude, it's so heavy-handed. It's like over the top. And there's no balance of like, yay, oh no, yay, oh no. It's just like, oh no, for like 30 minutes straight. And you're just like, I think I'm good. Like, I don't need oh no for the next 3 hours. So let me ask you, when are you gonna watch Blonde given this happy times?
I don't know. That's gonna be some after hours incognito shit right there.
Dude,
if it's like that,
I don't. If you watch it, you let me know how it goes because I'm not going back to fucking Blonde. That's
yeah,
good with that. Moving on. I'm good with that one now. Moving on. What else we got
yeah. Next up, we got Andrew Schultz,
on
infamous
YouTube?
new on YouTube. Yeah,
This one's interesting because he's a comedian. He is, I think, is hilarious. He's equally skilled at offending both the right and left political leaning folks. Like he's perfectly in the middle. It's so good. Um, he recorded this thing on his own. It was supposed to be on Netflix, and then Netflix told him to like cut some jokes. He said no, so he bought it back and he released it on his own for his own platform as a website. And I guess he did really well doing that. So then after X amount of time, he released it for free on YouTube. So you could watch this whole like hour plus show for free on YouTube. There's just like some ads. So homie's getting paid left and right, and good for him for like taking a chance. And his shit's funny. I don't know. Have you seen it yet, or do you know his stuff?
no, I've seen it on there. Like I seen the little icon for it, but I haven't clicked on it yet. No, he was funny, man. I think he blew up even more during the pandemic because he would have these vignettes of like takes,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
4 or 5 minute takes and
Funny,
stuff like that.
funny.
Super funny, smart,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, creative. Yeah. So he took advantage of this whole um dilemma of being at home and doing videos and doing that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
yeah, good for him.
I watched it. It's hilarious. Definitely.
Well, cool.
It's not for people who are easily offended about anything. I'll tell you right now. But man, it's
Hmm.
fucking funny. Like he just goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I'm like, wow, he's good, man. As a comedian, I think he's fucking awesome.
Hmm.
Definitely check that out.
Cool.
Infamous on YouTube for free.
Cool. All right. Next up, we got Reboot on Hulu.
Yeah.
It's a sitcom kind of setup, like what it's saying. It's like a picture of Full House and how now they did it on Netflix with the same actors and stuff, aged up, right? Or older.
Yeah.
So, but it's a sitcom that got rebooted, right?
Yeah. We actually watched the first 2 episodes. I'm not going to like review the series yet, but it's good. It's funny. It takes the idea of like an 80s wholesome family sitcom, and they're like rebooting it now. And all these people are totally dysfunctional in real life, and just putting them like Johnny Knoxville is like a surprising shining star in this film. It's pretty damn funny. It's not like amazing, but it's a fun, easygoing, great cast of a watch. Reboot on Hulu. I think you'll dig it, man. Oh, and it's also it's kind of rated a little R. I would say there's some stuff like happens. I'm like, whoa. So yeah, it's not a wholesome show, but I mean, man, it's pretty funny. So Reboot. I'm looking forward to going further. I'm looking forward to see if you watch it.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Last Seen Alive. Just dropped on Netflix, starring Gerard Butler, and like he's been doing these kind of like smaller crime trash movies, you know, that are like I would say they were like good bad movies, and sometimes they're good.
Yeah.
You know, or if when they're good, you're surprised because you're expecting them to be bad. But this gave me a lot of breakdown vibes, you know, the Kurt Russell movie. And this guy, he's having an argument with his wife at the gas station. He goes to get something from the thing, and he comes out and his wife's missing. And now, you know,
he's got to
find his wife.
Got to get all Gerard Butler on him.
Yeah, he's got to get all Gerard Butler on him. So, you know, the action movie, I like it.
I haven't seen the trailer.
It's on new on Netflix.
But that sounds cool.
You ever seen the trailer?
I have not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the premise. Yeah. So looking forward to seeing it. It just dropped. So
all right. Yeah. Put on the list if you like Gerard Butler. You know what you're getting into.
Yeah. Like I think that Den of Thieves is a classic now. Like it is aged so well for me.
All right.
They're making a second one. And yeah, man, I'm all in on Gerard Butler. I watch anything with Gerard Butler. He's like my dad's Steven Seagal. My dad would watch anything with Steven Seagal. I watch anything with Gerard Butler.
Yeah,
I watched a movie from last year called Cop Shop. It was perfectly fine. Was it great? No. No. I mean, it went straight to Peacock, but it was him and
Frank Grillo, right?
Yeah, Frank Grillo,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And a bunch of other actors bro showed up. And you're like, holy shit. And it was kind of like a hitman
yeah,
thing,
yeah.
you
It
know?
looks cool.
It was really
Trailer
cool.
looked fun.
It looked cool. It's stylized. So, anyways, put your Gerard Butler in it. I'm gonna watch it. Except P.S. I Love You. Sorry, I can't do P.S. I Love You. Yeah, so going from that to our double feature kind of inspired this next topic or theme for the double feature. We got Crazy Road Film.
Yeah,
All right. Things happen, man. You're
yeah,
on the road.
yeah.
Could be good, could be bad. You know, might be some good people, might be some bad people.
You might get
Strangers
kidnapped.
could chase you.
Yeah.
Yeah, strangers might chase you. You know, you don't know, man. Could be a monster, could be whatever. All right. So we're doing double feature on Crazy Road Film.
Yeah.
Uh I am gonna go first this week, and I got a recent movie from 2020.
Oh wow.
I got Unhinged, starring Russell Crowe, the road race.
Oh yeah.
It's on Prime, and this movie surprised me.
Really?
It had no business being this good.
Really?
I mean, it's not like, you know, it ain't Terminator, or it ain't, you know, it's not gonna win any awards. It's not a Tony Scott film, but I'm like, damn, it was. I believed it, you know, like, damn, this guy really lost his shit, and like this lady is getting tormented for it. You know, this family's getting tormented for it. So yeah, this guy has road rage. It goes into it, and it has a crazy stuff happen. It does its job. Unhinged.
I saw the trailer. I
Prime.
saw the trailer a while ago. I was like, Russell Crowe? And I was like,
Yeah,
interesting.
and he put on some weight because he looked pretty good in Thor: Love and Thunder,
Yeah.
as far as his physical, you know. But he looked pretty big in
He
this
looked
movie.
very big in that movie. I was like, huh.
But he's known to do that, put on weight for roles, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he did that for this role. I thought at his age he'd kind of calm down on that shit.
I guess not. But yeah, it looks trippy. So yeah, my pick is kind of another unhappy road movie. 1986's The Hitcher.
Oh yeah, that was not good.
When I watched that in my younger years, I was like, "Bah!" Like that movie is like, it's borderline supernatural, kind of.
Yeah,
like the things that happen. It is this poor kid trying to like get home, and he's like somehow he picks up a hitchhiker along the way in the middle of America, and Hitcher turns out to be Rutger Hauer. Fucking amazing performance on him, and who just proceeds to torment him and torture him for the next like 2 hours, and like just terrible things continue to happen as this guy's trying to make his way across the country, and you're just like, holy shit. Just when you think everything's gonna be okay, no. It is a trippy movie. And great performances on both him and C. Thomas Howell, who's like, this guy just wants to live. You're like, I just want to live. Like, man, it's a trip. And for as far as like horror survival, classic 80s, it's up there, man. This movie is not a happy one, but man, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. That's a good pick, man. And I think they did pretty good together.
Yeah,
actually,
happy.
Thinking about it. Yeah.
And if you watch those, if you want to clear your palate, you can watch like National Lampoon's Vacation afterwards for their road movie. And that movie's classic. Total 180.
Yeah. Such a good movie.
Oh.
Every time I look at that fucking station wagon,
dude, every
I
time.
just laugh.
Not just that, but the station wagon, they had like the dog hitched to the back, and then you just get like the dog chain at the very end. You're like,
what was his name? Because remember the grandma was like, "You killed."
I don't remember.
Murderer. I can't remember his name.
That show is so funny. When Clark hates the dog and pretends to cry with the cop.
Yeah.
Poor little guy must have kept up for the first couple miles.
That was tough.
And then he thought he got away with it.
Oh, man.
And then the fun cop brings the fucking chain over to him when he's sitting in the car. And then grandma realizes what happens. You're like, oh, shit.
Yeah. That's a funny movie.
Couldn't stop laughing. But yeah, so
I think they just put it on Netflix.
Probably. It's always somewhere. It's a classic.
Yeah. They just put those movies, all of the vacation movies on Netflix.
Vacations usually always around too to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. So there's our double feature, The Unhappiness.
All right. Yeah. There you go. Unhinged and The Hitcher.
Yeah. So I think we're good.
Awesome picks.
Yeah.
I think we're good. All right. That's our show. Thanks for listening. Any final thoughts, Andres? VIP.
Dude, if anyone watches Blonde and makes it all the way through, leave a comment at the bottom of how you were able to make it through that.
Yeah, you can tell Andres how much of a prude he is.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't watch it with your kids or family or people you want to look in the eye later afterwards. I don't know what to tell you.
You feel dirty?
Oh man, it's like. Anyways, moving on.
Oh man.
Moving on.
All right. Well, thanks again. Please like and subscribe and leave comments or recommendations. We'd be happy to hear them out.
Yeah,
and
throw us some curveballs. Maybe we'll try to do some curvy, something different soon.
All right. Thanks again for listening. I'm Francisco.
And I'm Andres.
Have a great week.